Siema wszystkim, to jest Zakup 4. Black Flaga.
With Assassin's Creed 4, we are going to the pirate era, the 18th century Caribbean to be more specific. This was a time period that was really filled with a lot of intrigue, a lot of really legendary characters. And with every AC, we always try to transport players into a time and a period that was a key moment in history. We love going to places where we know players will never actually be able to visit time-wise and physically, perhaps. So the age of piracy, it's an incredible moment in time where a bunch of lawless men decided that they were going to take control into their own hands and attempt a democratic government. But these guys were pirates, so they partied and they drank their gold away. And so this government failed in a spectacular fashion. And then subsequently, the people that attempted it after them was the American Revolution. So we wanted to tell the tale of an attempt that failed, where AC3 was an attempt that succeeded. It is a pirate theme, it is 18th century, it is about these people that existed who were pirates. But we are not telling the Disneyfied version of pirates. You know, at some point, I guess with Treasure Island, the idea of piracy was very romanticized. And we felt as a dev team that there was this really incredible opportunity to tell the actual you know, the realistic version of it, the very gritty version, you know, for lack of a better term, I'll say the HBO version of pirates. We see that there is this opportunity that exists out there. No one's done it. So this is the tone we're going for, something that's much more gritty, much more authentic. Our main hero in AC4 is Edward Kenway. Edward is a British man who grew up very poor. Characteristic-wise, he's very charming, he's very charismatic, but at the same time, because of his poor upbringing, he's very reckless and selfish. And so we meet Edward at the beginning of the game as a pirate. And as his story progresses, he meets with assassins. They begin to train him for their reasons, but he has this internal conflict now. Where he is this very selfish person wanting his own motivations, but at the same time the Assassin's Creed is asking him to be selfless. Every time we come up with a new character, we really try to define a motivation, a reason that this hero exists, and give them their own unique personality. Altair was someone who is duty-bound. Ezio was someone who's very much more flamboyant and extravagant and a charmer. And of course Connor is much more of a quieter figure who is much more tough and had a different perspective on life than Ezio. And he dealt with things in a much darker way, and that was his personality that was created for him. Again, Edward is a brand new personality. He is very charismatic, so he does talk a lot. He is very big with his actions, but he's also selfish and reckless. And so this gives him a really unique twist to his personality. And again, because he begins the game as a pirate, his transition into the Assassin Brotherhood is really different than the previous Assassins of the series. The world we've created in AC4, it's really the freshest and the most different world that we've ever created. As previous ACs, we still have the main cities. We have 3 main cities, Havana, Kingston, and Nassau. But we've also built a really massive world that's filled with 50 unique locations. And the way the players travel through this world and the way they interact with the different things is really different than previous ACs. For example, as you're driving the Jackdaw, your ship, when you see a beach, we want players to, if they feel like it, let go of the wheel, jump in the water, swim to that beach, do their thing, and then come back, without ever having a break in the pacing or in the immersion. This is really important for us because, again, it gives credibility to the world. It makes you feel that this world does exist. Every element in it is integrated properly, and that this world is really beautiful and stunning, but it's also logical and credible. AC3 built a very incredible, exciting new system for naval combat, something unseen in gaming before. But we really saw this as a tease. It was a tease to a bigger system. And so we've taken this and we've built on this strength, really going deep on more enemies, different types of AI, new weapons, a really deep progression system on the Jackdaw. It's a ship that you need to customize and you need to upgrade and give it new weapons. You need to take care of its crew. Edward himself can be upgraded. There's a big progression system around Edward himself, and the hunting system and the harpooning activity actually, which is the hunting in the sea. These two systems feed into the progression of Edward as a hero. Edward can carry up to 4 pistols. You start the game with 1, and then you need to upgrade to be able to carry the 4. You can shoot 4 back to back, you can shoot 2 or 3, and it actually changes your combo in a different way. The stealth element, we want stealth to be a viable component, a viable gameplay for players. So we've been working really hard on having new gameplay ingredients, a simplified detection system so that the rules of being detected are much easier to understand and have stronger feedback. For example, the jungle is a very stealthy environment. You don't have to play in stealth, but good luck not playing in stealth. There are enemies and dangers that really incentivize you to be stealthy. The split between the naval and the land, in the missions, in the main path, it's about 60% land missions, 40% naval. But just to be very clear, we do not see this game, and we don't want anybody playing this game to see it as a game that's a sea game with land maps that you load into. It's the Caribbean, it's one world. Our mission structure is much more open-ended. People loved the assassination setups from AC1, and we wanted to have this ideology back in the game. The idea that we give you a simple objective and you use whatever tools and mechanics you have at your disposal to accomplish this goal. So there's a lot less hand-holding in the missions. It's really giving basic objectives, simple objectives, and then as a player you do what you want to accomplish that. The present day of Assassin's Creed 4, it follows up on the end of Assassin's Creed 3. Where we pick up, it's 2013. So reality now and the present day from the game have merged. So we've taken this opportunity to actually have the player more ingrained into the narrative, the player themselves be part of the story. So the new present day hero is you, the player. And you are someone that is hired by Abstergo Entertainment, which is a subdivision of Abstergo Industries, the Templar company, to use the Animus. And this is something, again, that's been updated in the stories, that the Animus technology has progressed. Anybody now can go into the DNA, the ancestry of someone else. So we still go into Desmond's ancestry, but it's the player, it's themselves as the hero that does this in the present day. Assassin's Creed 4 is confirmed to be released on Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U, PC, and PS4. The way we work on this is we are using the Anvil Next engine, which was something that was developed by AC3. The Anvil Next was really meant for next-gen technologies, and it had the ability to also work for current gen. So we are working in one engine. Right now as a dev team, we are really focused on AC4, the core experience of Assassin's Creed 4. But for sure, every console is going to have its own intricacies and its own feature set. So support for the different controllers, support for the various features, announced and unannounced. And the technology we have is built to do this. Assassin's Creed 4 specifically, we do have a team of programmers and technical artists that are exclusively working on the next-gen element of the game. We are simultaneously working on current-gen and next-gen. We do want to be very friendly with people who are new to the franchise. AC3, from this perspective, was very successful. It brought a lot of new fans to the series, and we want to continue this progress. So we do teach the systems, but again, we try to do it in a fun way, in a really interesting way. The fact that we have the seamless naval world now gives us new opportunities to introduce mechanics, but in a fun, new way.
So if it's fortune and adventure you seek, and Captain Edward Kenway's your man.
I to by było chyba tyle, a więc na razie, cześć.